everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of your favorite fucking sports betting podcast. That's right. It is time once again for your favorite part of the week as well, listening to Jump the Sharp. It's your boys here. I'm Brian Hollywood Hagan, along with the beautiful, talented, lovely, it's a Woodman. It's David Woody. What's up, buddy?
Let's go, birds, baby.
Nice.
Come on now.
Nice hat.
Thank you. You see that one? You want to tell the podcast listeners what I'm wearing?
Well, fuck it. They should watch on YouTube, okay? He's wearing, I believe it's called a court jester hat, where it has like 8 No, he's
it's
wearing...
one of those. It's a rainbow colored hat with the propeller.
It has a propeller. Yeah, it's very windy in his house tonight. Close a window, David. It's 30 degrees out. What are you thinking? But no, it is LII. Okay, with a Lombardi trophy in the midst of it. It stands for 52 if you ask a couple Romans. That's the one that the Birds won, Super Bowl 52. 5 years later, here we are, maybe again, as 57 creeps its head around the corner. But before it does, it is NFL Championship weekend. The AFC and NFC champions will clash at the Super Bowl, and we will find that out in a short couple of days here. And I believe the Woodman and I have something to say about who will be contending for said Lombardi trophy, David.
Yeah, we have a lot to say about it, actually, and I have many words. But before we get into that, my friend.
Well, before we get into that,
oh, excuse me, we got something else. Go ahead.
Man, is this your first rodeo? At Jump the Sharp on Twitter, as always. I mean, come on. And where else can they find us? Let's see how you can do. Go for it.
They could find us on Twitter at Jump the Sharp. They can also find us on Twitch at twitch.tv /
We haven't even shouted that out in a year.
/ GCN Employee Lounge.
Oh, that. I thought you were going to go with remember, we actually do have a Twitch channel. The reason why I cut you off on that is because I went back and I listened to last year's show for one segment and one segment only. Do you know what I did? I wanted to hear what the fuck we were drinking last year. Okay. So we're going to get there.
Okay.
And yeah, we shouted out our Twitch address. And I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot we had one.
Right.
But nevertheless,
yeah. Well, we
are on YouTube now. Yeah. So YouTube. Search Jump the Sharp.
That's the other place, yeah.
And then, yes, find us on Twitch via the amazing Glass Cannon Network, who is actually live as we speak doing their thing with an amazing new venture, I do believe. But yes, the Degenerate Dungeon it is called, where we team up with Troy, Joe, and McD from the Glass Cannon Network. It's been Saturday the last 2 weeks, but normally every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. And yes, this week, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, for our takes. Now, it'll be some takes lines-wise and numbers-wise, but man, it's a prop spesh like a mofo. I mean, we have a blast putting out props for that. If you've yet to catch one, please do yourself a favor and make sure you catch us. If you cannot do it this Sunday morning for the NFL Championship weekend lead-in, then boy, do we have a little announcement here. How about, as the Woodman teased last week, a prime time Degenerate Dungeon, the second of its kind, but the most beautiful of its kind, the night before Super Bowl 57. That is right, the Degenerate Dungeon live on twitch.tv / GCN Employee Lounge for the Super Bowl Saturday night, February 11th. That time to be determined. But we were very pumped about that. Holy hell. What better way to ease in to that busy Sunday than to have a dungeon on Saturday night?
It really could be the most fun. Bro, I'm old, right? I don't go out on Saturday night clubbing or anything anymore. You know what I mean? Like, this might be the most fun Saturday night of the year for me. Seriously.
I couldn't be looking forward to a Saturday night more.
I could not be looking forward to it more. It's going to rock. We're so excited.
Dare I say that we have to do a clubbing sesh with the Woodman. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, maybe we can do a Jump the Sharp meetup. Pick a club in the Philadelphia area, and we can live stream on our Twitch channel, goddammit,
yeah.
The Woodman cutting a rug
to
some fucking Cool in the Gang.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do what's one of the dances? The cat daddy, perhaps.
Sure.
Is
Yeah,
that
the
one?
Cat Daddy. It was
Okay.
about 50 years before the Gritty came out, but
Yeah, the
nevertheless,
gritty, that's a newer one, right?
Woodman will
Yeah.
bring out the old school dances.
Yeah. That's
Watch
right,
him do
buddy.
the Charleston and
The Dougie.
well, that's not. Yeah, you can Dougie up. Let me see
That's
a little
what,
Dougie.
15
Do
years, 12 years ago,
do a
15
little
years ago.
Dougie. No, it's more than it was about 20 years ago, but
God damn it. I'm
nevertheless, can
so
you do a little Dougie for the people
freaking
on
old,
on YouTube?
man.
Do a little
No,
Dougie.
I'm actually not much of a dancer. You'd want me in the band.
Isn't
You want me in the
something around?
band. You don't want me on the dance floor.
Yeah, it's true. My man here sang at my wedding. No bullshit.
And
Program note
played.
and played. That's true. Tickled the ivory. No bullshit here. No, or what? Why was I saying that? No show next week because there's not going to be much to talk about. We're not ready to dive into college ball and the NBA and the NHL yet because we're just not focused. We want to give you our best, and we're going to take that week off as the NFL does in between championship season or weekend and the Super Bowl to re-energize our gambling motives, if you will, and figure out a way to tackle that Super Bowl in the best means. 2-2 last week. It jumped to sharp. Thanks a lot, Bills, jitbags.
I don't honestly understand what happened. I really don't. I mean, I've watched the
think I
replays. I watched the
understand.
highlights.
They're
I
just
don't
not
understand.
that fucking good.
Are they? I mean, I guess it's been the one thing that somebody was saying, maybe it was ESPN or somebody was saying, it's been a while since Josh Allen had a great game. He hasn't played super well in about 2 months. It's been about 2 months. Maybe the elbow's really jacked up. I don't know, man. But
it could be the elbow. It
he
could
wasn't
be that
great, and their whole offense wasn't great. I don't think they didn't seem to have come in with a very good game plan. I don't think you attack the Bengals defense the way they did. It was just weird. It sucked. I hated it so much. It was gross, awful.
Yeah, and man, I mean, they had every reason to be pumped. One, the fact that you have really not shown up the last couple of years when you've been favorites in the divisional round. That being said, you've bolstered your personnel, still can't get the job done. And then
DeMar was there,
and not to be morbid, but the DeMar thing, he's there. Like some react a certain way. I thought that was on a different level. You know me, like I'm the anti emotional boost guy. I always bet against the team, raising a banner that night, getting their rings. Well,
yeah,
bet
that's
against
true.
them.
You do, yeah.
But DeMar coming back, I thought would even be a big deal. But
me too.
Not DeMar, by the way. That was bad syntax.
No,
fuck
I knew what
Bills.
you meant. Fuck the Bills. Like, and look, maybe part of it too is like, maybe part of it does fall on McDermott. Like, he is a defensive guy. Of all the coaches, I saw a stat. Of all 8 coaches from last weekend, he's the only one whose background is defense.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a disadvantage. Maybe at this time of year, you just got to have an offensive mind. And because teams have watched so much tape on you at this point, they've watched friggin' 19 games, 18, 20 games of you. Like, they got a lot of tape. They know your tricks. You're going to have to come up with something different. He didn't seem to have come up with anything. And they got iced.
I think it was pretty illustrative that they were fucked after that second drive. The first drive, okay. The weather conditions aren't really what they want it to be, and you could blame it on. And then the second drive, you're like, whoa, they are not prepared. But
I saw so much talent from James Cook. Like the few times they used him, I was always shocked. They wanted to if something's not working, just give him the ball. Let's see what maybe he does.
And they didn't do it at all.
They didn't do it at all.
No, and the couple times they did, he got 8. So it was like, come on.
Yeah, he's a good player. He reminds me of his brother.
Absolutely, and he's younger. I'd rather have him. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he's a lot younger.
I think if you give him the rock, he'll get the job done.
He's a good player. Anyway, so we
here's
went
the way
2-2. So let's see.
Here's how we're trending.
Okay, go ahead.
You ready? 1-3 we did on the wild card weekend. 2-2 last week. If it wasn't for Buffalo, we would have had like buco bones last week.
Yeah,
that means what? 3-1 this week and 4-0 Super Bowl. But like, what? I mean, come on, that's guaranteed money making.
We can do
Maybe
it.
not.
We can do it, baby. Come on, we can do it.
Let's do it. I mean, we're gonna get there. But first, we need a little juice. Literally, a little juice that has the ingredients we need to make the show entertaining but also profitable. We're not the type of fellas that can just sit here and sip on water when it comes to 9:32 p.m.
No. No.
on an evening.
No.
We're degenerates after
That's
all,
right.
in more ways than one. And especially, it's time to find out exactly what are we drinking. It's America's favorite segment, Woodman. What you got?
A little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, buddy. Not the bubbly this time, though. No bubbles. So
I'll make up for that.
Stout January wasn't off to a great start. I didn't have
No.
amazing weeks when I was drinking the 2 stouts that I bought. So I thought last week I saw that Nugget Nectar in the store. I'm like, all right, let me try this. We'll go back to more of an amber beer, like hoppy, and that didn't work either, right? So,
By the way,
Bills.
that's what you drank this time last year for NFC
I
Conference
bet.
Championship. You
I'm
had a
probably going to drink it every
Nectar.
year at this time because it comes out this time
Of
of year,
course.
and it is a very limited release. You can only buy it for about a month, and
Yep.
it's gone. So I hop on that shit. In fact, couple years I've bought a whole case of it, even though I live in an apartment. I don't have a place to store things. I don't care. I'm buying a case. I'm going to do it again this year. Tough guy.
Oh, whoa. I didn't say anything. God damn.
But anyway.
Yeah, see?
Anyway, Vin.
Wow. You got beat from beyond the grave.
What I'm going for this week is one of the all-time favorites of this show, non-beer segment, and that is the old-fashioned, the classic old-fashioned, the cocktail. So I have
Literally
one of those.
the old-fashioned.
Indeed. So I have one of those big cubes. I put the sugar in. I do the bitters, right? Then we go.
Oh, good for you.
Then we go heavy on the bourbon, real heavy, strong pour, not like a weak little man, right?
No,
strong,
not like a
strong
pussy.
boy. Yep.
Yeah.
Then you come in here, you get the big ice cube. I stir like crazy until the whole thing feels cold. You should be able to feel it through the glass that it's cold. Now you know it's stirred up good. I have these fancy brandied cherries
Ooh.
in the fridge that were given to me as a gift, and they last like forever because they're sitting in brandy. So I pop one of those in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And then a little orange peel as well, which you do this. I don't know. There's a word for that.
You got to break the skin of it.
You got it. And then you kind of like go around, and then that's it. And it's a great drink. It's one of the all-time classic cocktails, probably invented, we think, people say, even before the Roaring 20s. So like invented around maybe 1910 or so, long time ago.
Absolutely.
It's a classic. The combination of the citrus, the bitters, the sugar, and the bourbon. It's such a beautiful combination, man. It's an incredible drink. Balance. Awesome.
Drunk, but there he goes.
He's getting there. But yeah, no, you inspired me, by the way. You've been featuring, I should say, an old fashioned from time to time.
I've done a few other mixed drinks on here. I remember I did a margarita once or twice, right?
Yes. Yep. I've been doing I did do an old fashioned once. As a matter of fact, I made one live on air that week. That was fun.
That was amazing with your kids' cup as the ice. That was so cool.
The kids,
and you've also done...
I still have 2 frozen in there. You know what I did find though? For Christmas, we had like these, I don't know, maybe 8-ounce little paper cups, that had Santa's face on it or whatever. And I was like, oh, so I filled those a quarter of the way there or so, or a third of the way there, and put like 4 of them in the John in the freezer. And when I got them out, I just ripped the paper cup and the fucking ice cube just bing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
That's smart.
Fucking right. I'm not, don't sell me short here.
I wasn't.
I'm not saying you are, but
you also did the another one you've made on air or had on air, a fresh cocktail, was delicious mules. You've had the mules.
Yes, I'm a mule guy. I like a mule. And before I get to mine, shout out to our boy Spencer over at Ancient Edie, at Ancient Edie on Twitter.
We love
He
Spencer.
gave a shout out about a little Shamrock Bean Flicker from, it looks like Odd Side Brewing Company. He said
in Michigan or Ohio.
Yeah, he said, okay, so it is available now at the pub in 6-packs, and he was heading to Michigan this week, and then Ohio, Wisconsin, Philly. I would say that's where he's heading. I'm not sure if that's where the beer is available, but a funky
I'm sure he appreciates us reading out his itinerary on air.
Absolutely, exactly. So, unfortunately, he didn't add any picks of the week, but nevertheless, we now know what he will be. So get your Spencer tracking apps up, and you can find that out right now. But it's got a little coffee in it, so if you're down with like a little coffee, John, hit it with chocolate mint profile. See, I'd be down with that, but I don't do any kind of coffee related shit. Shout out to Muscles Marinara. He might be interested in that as well. A little bean flicker. I mean, who isn't in a little bean flicker from time to time?
But don't you drink You drink stouts that have a little coffee note to them, don't you? Or not? That's not your favorite necessarily.
No, it's just not my favorite in general. But
Okay.
I don't do caffeine at all. And sometimes I'll check and it'll be like, yeah, there's caffeine in this bitch just because of the coffee. Like I love coffee, but I do decaf, so I just stay away from caffeine.
The caffeine keeps you probably up at night.
Well, personal reasons too. The heart was a little flutter a few years ago, so
That's
I
right.
just keep it out of the itinerary.
Yeah, you don't.
I have plenty of other vices. But and speaking of which, I was thinking about this week. We're going to find out the contenders for the Super Bowl. So that means we're going to have some fucking knockdown, drag out wars in the trenches on the gridiron come Sunday afternoon.
Yes,
and
sir.
what better one, brew that is, to feature here because it's just aptly named so well. We've had it probably on the show before, but I know Woodman's put plenty down the gullet, as have I. And fuck, if it's the last one in my fridge, I'll tell you that. Because it's so good. After I buy them, I was just like, man, I should save one for the show. And this one barely hung on. But it is from our boys over at Yards Brewing Company in Philly. But it's Brawler.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Brawler Champion Ale. It's championship week. Let's feature a champion ale. And I'm going to do the old bottle ski.
Yes, good sound.
Let's have it here. A little pour ski with, of course, my Eagles glass here, a little pint glass. Go Birds! Because I featured this mug last week, and or why do I keep calling it a mug? A little glass. But it is that proved to be a winner. I'm a superstitious cat. Hopefully the Birds whoop that ass like they did, or as I said last week, wipe that ass. But or no, that was on the dungeon. It's like that team's gonna get their asses wiped.
The Brawler is a good beer.
I mean, you can see it's a nice dark brew.
Yep.
Nice ale. Like, this is right on my alley. I knew what I was getting into, so I'm not going to bloviate too much, as the Woodman would say. But if you guys have not heard of Yards Brewing and Brawler, do yourself a favor if you can get it. It's a delicious.
What is it technically? Is it a Scotch type of ale, or is it dark ale?
Let's go to the Untapped here.
Maybe it's just ale. Sometimes they're just called an ale.
They just call it a champion ale, so it's probably just a dark ale. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it's probably got some like caramel, all that shit. Let's see. The most approachable of our ales, Brawler, is malt forward and delicately.
Okay,
hopped.
see now when I hear malt forward ale, you know what I think of? That's like an English ale.
Yeah, it definitely tastes like that. Good call on that. I just fell in love with this even more. You ready for this?
What's up?
Because one of these two words that they're using as an adjective or just to describe it is like my favorite thing ever. It's smooth character, hints of caramel and toast.
Oh, you love toast.
Dude, I love bagels. I love toast. Just give me a roll. I'll throw that in a fucking toaster oven for a little. I love starch. Starch me up.
You do. You love
give me
like
a half
simple
stick of
carbs.
butter. Simple
white
carbs.
rice. Dude. White rice.
I'm my favorite food in the world is white rice. Like,
that's insane.
Throw some gravy on that bitch, and I'm in town.
Listen, it's good.
The genes have passed down. My son and my one daughter are in love with rice too.
I like it too. It's definitely not my favorite food in the world,
dude. When I make I did some jelly on toast for part of the dinner tonight, and I will fucking throw 2 pieces of it for me and let the butter melt on it while I make it, and they're gone. Like, I don't even remember eating toast.
You love it.
I just inhale it. Bagels are my favorite fucking John in the world. You know what? Show's postponed for some toast. Be right back. God damn. Maybe next time instead of butter, I'll just throw a fucking couple cubes of caramel on it. Let it. What's that word when it gets the alcohol in it? What's the word I'm looking for?
When what gets the alcohol in it?
People are like, this is the word, assholes. When you ferment, let the caramel ferment on that piece of toast, and then I'll get drunk off toast one morning. What the hell? It might be because I accidentally had Spencer's coffee ale instead of a regular decaf coffee.
Accidentally,
that's right. All right, enough. 20 minutes. It's like we're afraid to make a goddamn pick here. Woody, are we afraid this week? I don't think we're afraid because it is time.
Let's get down to business.
To get down to business, Mr. Flair. NFL Championship weekend. 2 games. We're going to come at you with 2 picks each. We're going to go chronologically. This isn't an I feel better about this or I feel better about that.
Right.
1 game at 3 o'clock-ish, 3:15. That's the Eagles and Niners. And then the 6:30 game, of course, the Bengals and Chiefs. Without further ado, leading off playing center field, David Woody with his pick for the Niners at Eagles. What you got, Bubba?
I'm going to give you 2 numbers.
I'm good at math, I'll tell you that.
You don't have to be. These are very easy numbers. I'm going to give you the number 2. The number 2 is
I'm with you so far.
The number 2 is the number of road games that Brock Purdy has played in his NFL career. Okay.
Wow.
Those 2 road games were in Seattle and
in Vegas.
In Vegas.
And
now they won both games.
Shit.
They've won all his games. They've not lost a game since he started. Those are 2 of the worst defenses in the NFL. Straight up, 2 of the worst defenses in the NFL. I know that Seattle didn't always play like it because Pete Carroll really is a very good defensive coach. He's an excellent defensive coach.
Yep.
More defensive than offensive, I think. Always thought so.
For sure.
But nonetheless, that's not a great defense. And they gave up a lot of points this year. And of course, Vegas was, I think, arguably the worst defense in the league. So that all to say, I don't think that he has seen anything like this, right? He hasn't started a game that was anywhere other than the West Coast. Not at all. Not once.
That's crazy.
And his 2 road games were 2 of the easiest defenses you could possibly face. And, I don't know, man. So that's the number 2.
I didn't even pick up on all that as much as you did. That makes me want to bet this before we get off the show, and it's 3.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. Is I do think it'll be 3. So I hope folks get this. I hope folks are able to get this.
Eagles
right
minus
now,
2.5.
It's the Eagles minus 2.5. That's saying to me that if I believe these teams are equal on a neutral field, that I should take this bet. I should pay for the spread. I want to give the points, right?
Yeah, not the full respect on the 3 though.
Not the full respect on the 3, and I don't think they're equal teams, right? I think that I think they might be equal in every other way, but there's such a discrepancy at quarterback, and I know I said it before, but okay. So here we come to my other number, right? I gave you the number 2. It's referring to Brock Purdy's road games. He's never played a game on the East Coast. He's never played a defense like the Eagles defense. He's never played in a hostile environment, playoff environment like he's going to face at the Link on Sunday. Okay.
Right.
Not in his NFL career, maybe in college. I don't know where he played in college or anything about it. Don't care. It's not the same anyway.
Go Cyclones.
Here's the number 0. He threw 0 interceptions last weekend against the Cowboys. He threw 4 interceptable balls. He threw 3 of them were straight up drops by the Cowboys. I know because you saw them. I'm not just talking to you, Brian. I'm talking to all of our listeners. You all saw them.
You in general.
He threw 3 absolutely for sure intercept that should have been interceptions, and then 1 that could have been caught, wasn't, whatever. So you call it 3 or 4. He got 0. I don't think he gets 0 here. I think Hassan Reddick and company are going to make he's going to have a long day. They can win anyway. They could win.
Sure.
They could win a defensive struggle here. What they won't do, I don't think. I will rule out the idea of San Francisco putting a lot of points on the board. Dallas got 0 picks and only 2 sacks against them, which is amazing. If you watch the game, it's unbelievable. I can't believe. I can't believe they didn't get home a few more times than 2, and I can't believe all the dropped picks. Unbelievable. I mean, if that doesn't, by the way, if they just catch 2 of those 4 picks, they win the game. But anyway,
crazy. Yeah, but you're right. Yep,
I'm right. Okay, listen. Dallas had 0 interceptions and only 2 sacks, okay? And still, the Niners only scored 19 points in the fucking game, dude. Think about this. Use your minds. This is not homerism, honestly. The Eagles are just such the better team. And listen, if it were in San Francisco or Santa Clara, maybe I would give you a different story. They are very tough at home. It is hard to go to the West Coast. It's hard for them to come here, dude. This is in Philadelphia. I do not like the Niners' chances in this game. Give me the Eagles minus 2.5. I'm done.
That's my boy right there. And okay, so at least 1 less pick. Okay, we're gonna give you 3 picks, maybe.
Oh, good.
But at this point in time, I do have a pick I like different than that.
Good.
My pick is Eagles minus 2.5. I always feel obliged to change that up if the Woodman goes one way, especially when this is a short little game slate, 2 games. But I can't. I'm
We
not
can
doing
make
it.
that your official pick, and we could call what you're about to say a bonus if you want,
Well-
because I want you to feel comfortable with your picks, man.
No, my pick is going to be Eagles minus 2.5. You know,
Okay.
there's 2 games. People mainly bet against the spread. Some do the totals, and then
Yeah.
props and all that. You know, see the dungeon on Sunday.
We haven't done that well against the totals in these playoffs, you and I. We keep missing them.
Yeah,
been
well, I
tough.
hit one big last week. That was
You
easy.
did.
That Cowboys Niners was fucking.
You aced
cake.
that one. You were
Yeah.
just so right about that.
I'm
But
glad.
we've missed several.
By the way, what I did is I sneaky put another unit on that bitch right before it went live because I was feeling so comfortable. So that was a 2-unit
Boy, were
piece
you
for your
right
boy.
too. And by the way, that game could have been even lower scoring. Honestly,
should have
with
been.
some of those
Seriously.
picks and stuff that
You
should have
know?
happened. Yeah, Dak threw several interceptable balls that didn't get picked either.
Right, exactly. But
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with 2.5 here, and I'll tell you why for the Birds here to win by 3. This isn't much, or as much, I should say, me being a diehard Eagles fan, as it is a doesn't miss a snap diehard Eagles watcher. Okay,
Yeah.
like this is the only team in the NFL that I can 1,000% say that I've seen every fucking second that they've played,
Mhm.
and I can therefore make a judgment in big time games like this. And we've had a lot of ups and downs just based on our thoughts of the team while they've gone 9-0 to start the year. Like people would that's the one thing about being a diehard, and especially in this kind of a fan base. Like we'll nitpick just to nitpick, but it's not necessarily that. We're doing it because we want to make sure we're 100% secure. So be like, yeah, I know we won 42-8, but and people be like, dude, you fucking won. Shut up. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but we want to make sure that we're infallible, and no team will ever be infallible. But I just can't see them losing this game. I just can't. And minus 2.5, like I don't think that's enough respect at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and pounce on that bitch. Like this should really be 4.5. I think.
I was thinking 5, 4.5 or 5 seems right to me.
Yeah. So we saw what happens when Purdy is up against a good D line and a good defense. I called that out on the show last week about taking the under. He hasn't fucking seen a good D line. He saw it once during the year against the Commanders.
He saw it last week, and he was really bad.
And that's what happened. They
He was
finally. I
horrible.
said he's going to see one next week, aka last week. And what happened? He struggled. He really did.
He was really not good in that game.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't throw a pick, but like Woodman said, look out, and we'll see you on the dungeon for more about that. But you know, I said San Fran wasn't going to make it out of the divisional round, and I'm glad they did. I really am. Because look, it would have been incredible. This week leading up in the Philly area would have been insane. I mean, it is anyway, but if it would have been Dallas at Philly for the NFC Championship game, first time since 1980, shout out to Wilbert Montgomery. Is he still kicking? I don't think so. But nevertheless, that would have been amazing. But you can't just sit there and root. Like, I was on the side of I'm more happy just knowing the Cowboys are out than the fact of us hosting them for an NFC Championship. But let me just throw this out here if we're going to rag on this Purdy kid for a little bit. Rookies in conference championship games.
Oh, boy.
Real bad, okay? I'll get more in depth with this on the dungeon Sunday morning, 10 a.m. as far as stats-wise because of props that I like for the game. But I'll just put it out there right now. Since 1990, and the ones before that, I don't even think it was like the divisions weren't actually set up, so that's why it's since 1990. It's only happened, I believe, 6 total times, but it's only happened 4 times since 1990. 1-3 against the spread, 0-4 straight up. Have never gotten a victory. A rookie in general, and those names I'll talk about on the dungeon. But all that being said, leans me to Eagles minus 2.5. But then again, I thought and this is why I'm going to give a little side piece for another a pick for the game, and I will go total. The Eagles' offense last week against the Giants, when they wiped that ass, if I want to say, wasn't even hitting on all cylinders. I mean, earth to A.J. Brown, like it wasn't his fault. I'm just saying he wasn't even involved barely. He had a couple good catches. That was it. I mean, the dude, Devontae Smith had that long catch, and then a couple, outs here or there. He dropped one pass, but the wide receivers weren't even that involved. Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts, I don't even think did he throw for 200? I don't think he threw for 200 yards. I think he threw for like 160 or something. Like, and they did all that.
Part of that was on purpose because once they had the big lead, they just wanted to run, and they found that
and you don't want to show your playbook.
And but also they were able to just run as much as they wanted to.
They ran over them, literally ran over the Giants.
Kenneth Gainwell over 100 yards, like.
Yo, and on dude, Boston Scott, as we talked about ad nauseum on the dungeon. I mean, what a big payout that was. That was great. But I don't even think the Eagles' offense have shown what they could do.
No,
and that's why, to me, I will be placing a unit on this. So I will make it a sidebar pick. And fuck it, make it an official pick. This will be my pick for the game. I'll take that over all day. 46.5. I get it. I know. Two big defenses.
Yeah.
This game is going over. There's going to be 50 points scored in this game.
Yeah.
And I think that is bad news for San Fran.
Of course.
If this game goes under 46.5, bad news for the Birds. So I think points equal a Philly route. Not route. Well, I don't want to say route. Points equal a Philly cover. I would say by a touchdown. But I think like if this is in the low 40s scoring, then man, I don't think we're going to be happy with the result. I'd be very, very shocked if the Birds somehow win 21-13.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it could happen with just like a total disaster game from Purdy, and then their D does its thing. You know,
if the score is somewhere around that,
but
you
that
know,
would
21,
be
that's going to be a Niners victory.
I'd be very, very surprised. You're right if that was the final.
Yeah, so I'll take the over 46.5. Put that on the board.
And I'll just remind people of something. And by the way, I love your pick as the over there. I was thinking that too.
Right.
And I'll just remind people of something that I've been saying a lot this year, which is that Kyle Shanahan does not believe that he deserves to win the game if he has to score a lot of points to do it. He coaches that way. That's intentional, right? Fourth, I jotted this down here. 4th and 9. Okay, 4th and 9, Bri.
Right.
From Dallas's 38 in the first half. Punt.
Mm-hmm.
Could have easily kicked a field goal. Would have made it, probably.
Right.
Okay, even worse, dude. 4th and 2 from the Dallas 29. He kicks a field goal. 4th and 2. This isn't a game. I mean, it he just turtles. He turtles.
Yeah.
He turtles.
Well, that doesn't sound so good for the over, but still, I think maybe some game. You know what? If they're down, he doesn't make those calls. You know, so
I agree.
Yeah.
The over will hit for sure if the Eagles get up at all in this game.
Yeah.
Eagles get up at all, you got the over. Even if they don't, it still can, but it would be more like second half stuff, you know.
Absolutely.
They're just going back and forth. Yeah.
Back and forth. Birds minus 2.5, and also game total. San Fran, Philadelphia over 46.5. That was so. What happened with that was it opened at like 45. That fucker's already up 1.5 for a reason, by the way. Because public doesn't really bet fucking totals. They go spreads. Sharps are moving that bitch like a motherfucker right now. Another spread that the Sharps have moved like crazy, but it's because we just don't know what's going on. Let's head to Arrowhead at Kansas City. The Chiefs host the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. Line started out Chiefs minus 2.5, and the Sharps killed it. Just moved that all the way down to Cincy minus 2.5.
Yep.
Now with the Patrick Mahomes question of there's some video of him walking out of the press conference looking like he's walking normally. There's some video of him, warming up and practice, kind of jogging,
yogging,
if you
Might
will.
Be a soft
and
J.
That's his brother. He's blogging and yogging. There's some, but since he is still, it's come down. It's simmered a little bit. Since he minus 1 right now, so Chiefs getting a point at home. It's pretty steady there for about 24 hours. What do you like here, Woodman?
You know, Joe Burrow is 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that ends here.
Oh man, I got to come up with another pick.
I think it ends here. I'll take the Chiefs money line at plus 100. I think it's
same with me.
Yeah,
I
think
it's now minus 105. So get it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I would take it at minus whatever something. I mean,
I
like
have the two exact same fucking.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. You know what I mean?
Great minds, you know.
Again?
Exactly. I just think. Look, with
anyway,
I think that with the way that they have got beat especially last year in this same game. By the way, look at this. This is a rematch.
Same
Unbelievable.
fucking game. And
Even
by the way, just to let you know, it is officially a 49ers Bengals Super Bowl. Okay, sorry.
That's hurtful.
I'm kidding. No, it's time to kick some ass. Let's
No,
go.
it's Birds Chiefs, and I'll tell you, I think part of it is I am maybe overreacting to. I saw the video of Mahomes not limping, and I'm like, I personally have had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
It
tell
is
us about
not-
that, honestly.
It is not possible to not limp. Like, you can't put all your weight on it like normal. You can't, even if you wanted to like show off in front of a girl or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to limp because I can't put my weight down on it.
Is there truth to the rumor that he put a sock and a shoe on a third leg and didn't show his other leg? You know, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
I'm guessing the truth is that they gave him one of those cortisone shots and
Dude,
probably several.
It was great. I texted you and
Yeah.
I was like, how is he doing this? And because I texted you, or you texted me the shot of him walking off the podium. And man, that is smooth as you can walk. And I was like, whoa. And I said, how could you said I had a high ankle sprain? That's not doable on a high ankle sprain.
You can't not limp. You can't.
And then I saw the thing of him jogging. I sent that to you, and I was like, "How is this possible?" And you said, "Well, he's probably loaded up.
Yeah,
They
drugs,
probably shot him with a lot of
painkillers,
And
cortisone.
I was like, "Oh, right, that's correct. I
Yeah,
forgot that
and
they
they have
actually-
like super advanced crap that you
Sure.
don't even probably know what the hell it is. So I'm guessing that's what they'll do for the game. I don't know why they would do that for practice today. I guess maybe he wanted he was like, I want at least 1 or 2 days of like full practice so I can
maybe
feel.
it's just a machine and it's actually legit. Maybe it didn't take a damn thing."
The other possibility, I guess, is maybe the high ankle sprain was very minor. Like, yeah, he sprained it, but it was a lesser of a degrees. By degree, those things can happen by degree.
Yeah. So
obviously.
correct me if I'm wrong, as one who's been through it literally.
Mine
I
was
heard
from tennis. But go ahead.
Right. So I've heard that when you get one, just like other, when you sprain an ankle or whatever, but I heard that they were saying by Monday and Tuesday would be almost immobile on that. It would just get worse, and then it would start to calm down later in the week. For him to look that well on a Wednesday morning, that I even drugged up, I got to think that's a good sign for Chiefs fans.
Agreed. And I'm guessing maybe it's a combination of everything we're saying. It probably really wasn't as bad as initially thought.
And let's not act like he's not
drugged up.
some mid-20s, super athlete, so he does have the...
Right. He's an incredible athlete, obviously, and all that stuff. But anyway, so I'll say, this is my pick for that reason. It's also a vote for... It's really hard in the NFL, really, really, really hard to beat Andy Reid 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 straight times. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I
prep
think
machine.
He's a prep machine. I think that, look, credit to, what is the name of the Bengals coach? I always forget. I apologize.
It's Zach Taylor.
Thank you. All credit due to Zach Taylor, and I think we've all been underrating him, and he's really good. He's obviously a very good coach. They always look so prepared. He rises to the occasion. They play great in postseasons now. This is 2 in a row, right? All that stuff. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's not Andy Reid. Andy Reid is a future Hall of Famer. Andy Reid is an incredible, incredible coach. He's the prep machine. I don't think he's going to let you be... Okay, I'll put it this way. Here's how I'll phrase it.
Okay.
If this pick doesn't hit, there is only one way that it doesn't hit, which is the Bengals are going to have to come to Arrowhead with a completely different game plan, probably both on offense and defense, than they've ever shown before. Yeah. They will have to have held back against the Bills and the Ravens.
Right. No, yeah.
Some of the best plays in their arsenal.
Look, they had to scrape the bottom of the barrel. They had to scrape the bottom of the barrel to get by Baltimore.
Of course they did. Of course they did. You watched
it's not like they were just like, all right, well, still, don't use that play. No, they had to win.
I don't buy this. I don't buy this. I get why a lot of people. I think the public is still on
Joe
the
Cool,
Chiefs.
man, he's a beast. It's hard to, like, I think last year
He
it was
is
the,
a
fool me twice,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
But now it's like fool me 6 times. When the fuck am I going to learn? And look, I'm stubborn as shit. I'm still not going to learn. And when the Bengals win,
It's not about
I'm
me
going
not
to say
learning.
my
I
bad.
totally
but
admit how good he is. I really do.
Oh,
and
I'm not saying
the team
him.
as well.
Yes.
No, I admit it all. Here's what I say. Because they've won 3 in a row against the Chiefs, I'm telling you, that is my reason why. They can't win. It's just, you just can't beat a good team with a good coach and a really great quarterback that many times in a row. It's hard.
I don't know
It's
if
just
Chad
hard to
Henne
do.
is really that great, though. Look at
Listen,
your face.
Listen, if something happens to that ankle in the first quarter, I agree with you all, right? Everybody
if you're on
was
YouTube,
like,
go back 15 seconds. Just watch the change in his face. That is gold. I wish I could make that somehow a drop. If I could fucking suck that into an audio tube, and that was a beautiful thing.
if somebody wants to be on the Bengals here, I get it.
Of course.
But what that is to me, at least in part, recency bias. Okay, there's a little recency bias in that. And secondly, I think you are betting that Mahomes re-injures that ankle.
Well, that's a big part of it. Now,
That's a
here's
big part
my
of it.
part. Let me go ahead and segue, if you
Please,
will.
I'm done. I'm done with what I had to say. Go ahead, please.
Some bullet points here.
Let's hear it.
Obviously, what is the deal with Mahomes? We don't truly know, and we won't until Sunday. And honestly, I don't even know if we're going to know during the game.
I agree.
Of course, we'll know visually if he's limping. I don't think we're going to know if the degree of it and how close we'll be to it being a Chad Henne-led Chiefs. But I don't think it'll matter. I'm not saying Chad Henne, if he starts the game, this is where the line should be and everything. But motherfucker did his thing for a little bit. I'm not saying if Chad Henne plays the whole game that they would win. I'm just saying, here's what you have to understand. Woody was touting Andy Reid. Obviously, we had him here for 13 years and all, and we were ready for him to go. It was an amicable split.
It was,
but we still got. I actually respect him more after he left, because it was one of those. It was like, dude, just move the fuck out. Like, it was probably like my parents when I was 25 years old. Like, yeah, it's time, dude. Like, just we love you, leave. And then 4 years later, they were like, fuck, those were great times when you were still living here. You know what I mean? But Andy, here's the deal. He's so good at preparation. He does choke in NFC Championship games, as we know, in Philly, or championship games for the conference, I should say. But what we have to realize in this particular situation versus what happened last week and what happened last year when Mahomes got hurt in a playoff game is that this is already known. This is not an in-game adjustment. Okay, this is one of the best preparing coaches in history with a full week to understand what he needs to prepare for. They're not going to, this isn't a regular week of practice. This isn't a regular week of preparation with a transcendent quarterback here, give him the ball, he's going to win this for us. No, this is a holy shit. Plan A is here. Sure, we'll have a plan B, but I'll be damned if Andy Reid doesn't have plan C and plan D already. So his staff is ready to go. Full week of prep. It's not an in-game fucking shit fest where they're throwing, shit in the air saying, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Chad Henne got in there. But then again, Chad Henne goes in, leads a 98-yard drive. But that's not always going to happen. But here's the deal. Cincinnati has a really, really good D against the rush. Well, KC doesn't really run the ball that often. But they also don't really give up that many passing touchdowns. So, what are we going to do here, Hollywood? There's one thing that the Cincinnati Bengals do not do, like literally at all. They're, I think, third to last in the league. And that's sack the fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
So if Mahomes has any time at all, gimpy ass fucking ankle or not, he'll get the job done if he's not getting pressured. If they find a way to pressure, great. Then that's awesome for them. They're heading to the Super Bowl. But
maybe.
If you look,
I don't know, dude. There's not too many guys who are better at evading pressure, getting the ball out quick.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt with the shitty ankle. This is all like Woody. This is why I like this pick so much, because I'm approaching this pick as if Mahomes was playing like he did in the second half last week.
Got it.
You know what I mean? And I still would take it. So
that's smart.
Yeah, and if he can add some mobility, forget about it. in my eyes. Forget about it. But even Henne, if he has time, if the team isn't getting to him, look at what happened last week. Like Chad Henne knows to break that. Like he only has fucking 2.5, 3 seconds. He'll find somebody. Sure, it might be an incompletion here or there,
He'll
but
kick it out real quick to
right.
some
They'll
short.
game plan
Well, what did Kelsey have? 14 catches for 98 yards.
I mean, he had 10 in the first half alone. It was.
I mean,
insane.
it's all short shit, you know. Or you kick it out to Kadarius Toney or Jerick McKinnon, you know, as a kind of a dump off. Those guys are dangerous with the ball in their hands.
You got Juju, you got
easy.
MVS. I'm
It's
telling
not
you,
so easy to tackle
these are
these
pro
guys.
NFL players that have, shown their cards. You know, they've earned their cards, I should say. But here's the thing: I'm going through all this. I haven't said dick about the Bengals. Well, that's because, I have said about their defense, but their offense. A super potent offense. Joe Burrow has absolutely earned my respect. He was on my shit list heading in, but also I'm a Bama fan, so fuck you, LSU. But here's one stat, and it's not really a blowaway stat, but Joe Burrow has never ever scored or been on an offense that has scored more than 28 points in a playoff game. And that's not like the craziest stat. 28 points is a good amount of points in the NFL. They never reached 30. They never ever have scored 30 under Joe Burrow. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite of what I did on my first pick. Yes, my pick was the same. KC money line. That was exactly my pick. Eagles minus 2.5 KC money line.
And that remains your official pick.
And well, yeah, but kind of. But I'm going to do this too. I mean, fuck it. I said you're going to get 4 picks this week, and these are the 4 picks. Woody's official, for the sake of the show, will be that. Philly minus 2.5 KC. Fuck that. I will do my 2 official as the over on San Fran and Eagles, and give me that under on the Bengals Chiefs.
It's funny you say this.
It's at 47.5 right now, and I like it. Oh, by the way, it opened at fucking like 50.
Before I changed my mind and went with the KC money line, my first reaction, and I actually have a pick in for this because I parlayed them, as I often do, was
good for you.
I parlayed the Eagles minus 2.5 and the under in the Kansas City and Bengals game. I did. I did it. That was my first gut reaction. And then I thought better about it, and I was like, nah, let me just take I'll give me better juice. I'll give me Kansas City to win the game. They're going to win. They're home.
Even money with a home
Andy
team.
Reid, they're home. You know, by the way, yes, he did have a history of choking in the championship games until he didn't. I mean, you know, like the 2 years in a row, right? Where they beat the Niners, and then the next year, the very next year they went and lost to the Bucs.
Yeah.
So they won the AFC Championship 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, he kind of proved to me when he won that Super Bowl, I thought he's put it behind him. And he has. A lot of their playoff losses have not really been about him choking or doing the bad clock management like he used to when he was the Eagles coach.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I feel like a lot of their playoff losses have been they ran into a team that was red fucking hot. And by the way, so I'll just say, I feel great about the pick. I do understand people are nervous because the Bengals are red hot. I get it. But if you watch them against the Ravens, you know that they can be got to. That was a bad team playing badly, coming in ice fucking cold with a backup, not even a good backup, a bad backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And they still took them to the edge, you know?
But here's the thing. It's not like a backup quarterback where it's like, oh, shit, here's fucking Desmond Ritter.
Or
it's like,
Chad Henne.
It's Chad Henne, who's been in the league fucking 92 years. So it's like, I'm not saying he's great.
No, but
I'm just saying he's not going to get in there and shit his fucking pants.
He's not. He'll be competent. He also, I'm sure, he knows every bit as better than you and I do, whatever's going on with Mahomes' ankle. He knows he's got to be ready. Andy knows he's got to be ready. The quarterback's coach is talking to him all week here, and he's probably working in a lot more with that first team than he normally would. And if they have to go that route, I agree with you. I think if it winds up being half and half, Mahomes and Henne, I still think the Chiefs kind of find a way here. Yeah, I do. I kind of just think
I dig in the win.
It's partly just they're just due. It's 3-0. Burrow, you are 3-0 against Mahomes. You are due for a loss. Sorry, bro. Law of averages. Law of averages.
Dude, they have this is the 5th year in a row they're hosting an AFC Championship game. That's incredible.
All 5 years of his career.
That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, they lost against Patriots, then they beat the Titans, then beat the Bills, and then lost to the Bengals last year. Like, that's fucking insane.
He has a chance to finish as the GOAT. We'll see. I mean, it's a long way away because it'd be hard to catch him and pass Brady, but he has a chance, man. I've never seen anybody who could do the things that he can do on the field. I'll say that. He's a fucking wizard.
Yeah, you got so many, and now people are trying to fucking reenact it. Like some of these young quarterbacks now, like Brock Purdy tried to do one last week where he did the little sling to the side, like the fucking, I don't know, what do you want to call it, like a 60-degree angle, and it was so bad that I think it was Debo or whatever, whoever his intended target, like it obviously was an incompletion. It fell 5 yards in front of the guy, and his face was, the fuck was that?
It was Debo. It was Debo. Yeah,
it was so great. Funny. By the way, Debo said that when he got asked about coming to the link in Philly, he said, "Yeah, I know it's going to be loud, but like nowhere's louder than here." The fucking okay. I'm sure Santa Clara will. You're in for a rude awakening there, Debo.
Nah, wait, hang on. What's the loudest place? It's famous. Which one is it?
What, that's set right? Well, probably Seattle, but
Seattle. Seattle's the loudest, at least for the outdoor stadiums, you know.
Yeah, but that still is like that's a noise for the sake of making noise. This is like, this ain't. You're going to, this ain't fucking MetLife or even Baltimore or I'll give the Patriots their due sometimes, but this is a rowdy ass shit.
I'll just say, brother, like I stand by what I said, man. Brock Purdy, you have never played a game that's not on the West Coast. Come out here and let's see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. I didn't even know that. Like, that makes me want to. We got to end the show so I can go lay a couple another units on that fucking Birds. Let's go, Birds.
Really. And this is honestly it's not a fan thing, honestly. But you guys, listen, longtime listeners, you know that Brian and I don't bet with our fandom, right? We just don't. We never. That's not even an issue. I don't even
look at us last year.
I'm not
fucking half the weeks we were against the Birds making money.
Yeah.
Well, we probably lost last year, but.
Well, we did
this year. We never touched the Birds this year because we knew they were better than we thought.
Exactly, and they were always favored by more than I was comfortable.
We thought they were.
They were always favored by more than I was comfortable laying those points. And of course, in retrospect, I should just lay the points, but I didn't. And and so I'll just say, like, I just can't. I almost can't. That's going too far. The ways in which the Niners win the game outright are very limited. It's really just the one way, right? It's that the defense just totally wrecks us, and maybe I guess they kind of have to get in Jalen's head for them to really win the game.
Yeah, they had to fuck up our offensive scheme to the fact where it's like, oh, we have to change everything.
They would,
and I can't see that happening.
Not really, because we have still I think arguably the best offensive line in the game.
Oh. 1,000,000%. I'm just saying,
one or two.
We didn't use all of our whole arsenal last week, so
we're like in a position where you had a couple plays from Goddard, a couple plays from Smith, and almost nothing from Brown.
Right.
I mean,
it was a
run
lot
fest. More there than that.
Got a lot more
there. Game if you want to deploy it. I wanted to add one more thing here. It's a small thing, but it matters. Just on the way,
one in.
Maybe on the way out. So they say allegedly the Niners offensive line is quite good, but
no, they give up sacks galore.
But they give up a lot of sacks in the middle. They're pretty strong on the edges.
Trent Williams on the tackle. Yep,
exactly, and Fletcher Cox maybe. I would look for a big game from Fletcher Cox.
Fletcher, Javon Hargrave,
and Cox. Hargrave and Cox. Can you put that in your brain pan to remind me on when we do the dungeon?
I'll put in my brain pan Hargrave and Cox all day.
I think it moved.
Hey, before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do something fun on the fly? We have a couple minutes. Not that it matters. We can do whatever we want, but I still want to get these bets in. I'm antsy.
Give it.
Let's just do something real quick. It's something fun. Woodman, Hollywood, the exact scores for the game. Off the top of your head.
Oh.
49ers at Philly. Give me the exact score. Since we're on the same page with our picks, I just thought this would be fun. What do you think?
All right, I'll do 31-21.
Oh my God, I just wrote down for the Eagles 32-19. So
Oh my
that's pretty quick.
gosh.
That's really that's crazy.
We
All
are
right, I'm gonna write that.
simpatico, man.
Gonna write this one down too. Here we go. Now, obviously, you got Philly there, right? Yeah,
Of course.
So here we go. All right, Cincy KC. I'm gonna write it down as you say something.
I think it winds up being a 24
Oh my
to
God.
17. 24-17.
Oh my God! I wrote 24-20.
Oh my gosh.
That's incredible, dude. 24-17. I wrote 24-20. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? We are really on point, Woodman.
We're thinking the same way, buddy.
Yeah, you know, man, you get me going sometimes. Sometimes me and you, when we get on the same like lane,
It's a good feeling.
it's unstoppable. You know,
There's been a few times on this show where we were like 100% simpatico and we went fucking 6-0. There's been a few times. There've been a few times.
If that happens, baby, I'm gonna be all. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
I want to kiss you.
Absolutely. You ain't fucking kidding. And I'll do it as drunk as Joe. You know.
Struggling.
We'll see. We'll see. But that's it. It's time to count down the Super Bowl Sunday. That is our NFL Championship weekend special. The playoffs are in full tilt.
Playoffs?
And it is time to figure out who will be the participants of the best fucking gambling game of the year. Holy hell. We cannot wait to do. Hey, we'll be back for a little Super Bowl special, Jump the Sharp style. It would have been our third annual Super Bowl propaganda, as we called it, but you know, I do think that the way the style of the dungeon that really adheres to it. So I think honestly, for our Super Bowl special here at Jump the Sharp, we're not going to leave you high and dry by any means.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to come on and talk some fucking football, like talk
We'll
about
talk some football,
what we think about the
I'll
game.
still give a prop or two.
We're
I gotta
definitely gonna
save
give-
a few. For
We're
the
not
thing,
going
but
to
yeah.
not like we got to.
You'll
We'll
still
give
get
a
some
prop or
props,
two.
and
But,
Hollywood will give his famous coin toss prediction as well.
4-0 in the last 4 years.
He never misses, baby.
Never miss. That's crazy. I
And-
believe it, the last 4 years, I believe, were tails, head, tails. I don't remember, but I'm 4-0. So I put a unit on that bitch last year too.
And I do think the Birds can beat the Chiefs on that neutral site.
Ruh-roh.
They
Well,
could.
last time
They
not
could
the
do
last
it.
time, but we'll see about
You
that.
son
Go
of
Birds.
a bitch.
Go Birds, and apparently go Chiefs. Woodman. Oh, we're excited here as the Woodman does a little shimmy and or a shake. Woodman, say something on the way out here to make people feel good about their bets.
Hey, man.
Give it to me hard.
I'll just say that I feel confident that I've got the two quarterbacks who are better, and I think I have the two better coaches in these games, and so that's what I feel good about.
All right, giddy up. And as do I, obviously. We fucking ran the same gauntlet today. But I do also want to let you guys know that, yes, there will be Hollywood money on those over-unders in the way that I laid them out there.
Me too.
I
I'll
believe
tell
in
you,
them
buddy.
as well.
Yep.
But go Birds. We'll see you guys Super Bowl Sunday. Well, we won't see you on the Super Bowl Sunday. We will see you on the week leading up to it. And the dungeon this Sunday is what I meant to say. For the Woodman, I'm Hollywood. Peace the fuck out. Go Birds!